Quincy, I see you trying to show off your Chrome Hearts hat.
Oh my God.
What's your issue with it, Trey?
Nothing. I mean, he's just trying to flex. That's all, bro.
I'm not. I turned my hat to the back, bro.
Episode 2, Young Man in the 3, Mr. Murphy back in New Orleans. Quincy, are you in LA?
Yes.
We have a great episode coming up. We got Joakim Noah, who's joined the family, and our friend Kenny Beecham, which we taped in Chicago. We'll be back doing more stuff with Trey in person next week. Quincy, we obviously, we had President Obama on for the first episode, so we couldn't have you. But you were the call for episode 2. Before we start, I know Trey's got a bunch of questions, and we're going to get to a draft in a little bit. Can you tell your favorite Trey story for the audience?
I think my favorite Trey story might be when we were freshmen in college. I was a freshman in college, and we used to play. I used to play 2K with some of the other people on the team, and he didn't have a PlayStation. He was an Xbox dweeb, so he would play on Chris Mullin's PlayStation, and it was a few times that he would talk about Chris Mullin's my player, and Chris would threaten him to get off the game because he would say, "Don't disrespect my stuff because you don't even have a PlayStation." And Trey would have to be quiet and take back his comments. I think that's my most favorite story I would like to describe publicly.
Can I say my favorite story about Quincy?
Don't start, bro.
Please, this is your show.
Don't start, bro, please.
I think my favorite Quincy story, now that he's okay and doing fine, is probably that he got hit by...
you better not.
It's probably that he got hit by a car. So it starts off on his Snapchat story. He's in Hawaii riding his bike, and he has a video of him riding his bike. He's panning around like Hawaii and stuff like that. And like the next Snapchat story is him. Okay, thank you, Quincy. We appreciate you. Thank you, bro. The next video is of him in the ambulance with a busted lip, shoulder bruised, like all that. And like for some reason he called me probably like after he called his mom, he probably called me next and told me everything. And I was like, I'm glad you're okay. Bro, that is hilarious. Only you would get hit by a car while riding on a bike. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite Quincy story.
That's on me, coach.
Is there any backstory? Is there any context that we're missing in this story?
Not at all. I was in Hawaii. I was leaving a workout at a park. I was crossing the street in the crosswalk. Car ran through the stop sign, hit me. I destroyed the windshield, dented the hood, and I just had to get 15 stitches in my shoulder.
Warrior. I think we want to talk a little about the last, month for you. Obviously, a lot's been going on. Can you reflect just like what your last 3 weeks have been like now that you've had a little bit of space from it? Just some of your favorite moments and just even on a macro grand scale, how you feel about everything now.
The last 3 weeks have been amazing, a blessing, just a snapshot of what hard work does. Obviously, I think my favorite moment goes without saying, me and Steph. That's been my favorite player for a long, long time, since 6th grade. Especially, it was right after he scored 54 in the Garden, and that was when it became apparent that that was going to be my favorite player. But I mean, being accepted from all the guys. I mean, I told D'Lo that after the game in Milwaukee, that one of the coolest things about this whole experience is that everybody on the team, they like me, they accept me. Like, it's not like here comes this guy, or here comes the rook. It's like, oh, what up, Q? Like, letting me ask questions, bringing me in to work with them after practice, and like D'Lo invites me over to his house, and Jackson Hayes, like guys like that on the team who accept me being a rookie and take me under their wing. I think it's pretty cool because Jackson looked out for me. He bought me one of those case clubs, the thing that you put your PlayStation in that you travel with. It was like $800. And he had sent me the link for it because I was thinking about buying it. And after he sent me the link, he sent me the screenshot of him buying it. It was like, this is for being a good rook. So that was a cool moment too. But I don't even know what to say. it's in the past. Honestly, I've just tried to change my focus to being ready for whenever the Lakers need me, or like this week being in G League training camp, just making sure that I'm as focused as can be, because each moment is an opportunity to continue to develop in my career.
Before you start, Tommy, there's two things I want to address. One thing that used to be like, I saw you kind of smirk a little bit when you said Jackson, telling him like, way to be a good rook. So Jackson was in year 3, my rookie year, and there were a few times where he would be like, "Yo, like rook," like I'm like, "Bro, we're the same age, bro. Like I understand you've been in the league for a little bit longer than I have, but like I can't allow the rook stuff. We can't be going like that. Like you could be like, bro, like you the same age as me. I can't really go for that. Like that's some of the things that happens in the NBA because it's so crazy. Like dudes come to the league 18 years old, like Brandon Ingram. He's 27 now and he's in year 9. Like that's insane. Me and him are 3 years apart, and I'm going to my 4th year. He's going into year 9. And then second thing too, when we went to Golden State, I saw Steph and I told him, I was like, "Yo, bro, like for real, like thank you for talking to Quincy, all that stuff. Like Quincy's one of my best friends. Like it means a lot." And it's a funny thing that he said. He was like, "Yeah, like it's dope that he actually like told me and like spoke up about it because a lot of guys won't say anything." In the back of my head, I was like, I'm one of them guys. I'm not going to tell him. Like, I'm not going to tell him that. But obviously, like, yeah, we all look at the stuff. Like, if I'm being honest with you, but it was super cool that he's been really down to earth about that, because Steph also took a picture with one of my friend's kids at a summer league one time, and he don't have to do that, but it's just him being like a good dude really shows up.
I was going to ask. I mean, sort of to that point, Quincy, it's like part of, I feel like, what made your story blow up and just like you sort of have this moment was how relatable it feels like, even for just like random fans and for people that don't know you or didn't know anything about you. And I'm wondering if, people wrote about this, but I'm wondering if you could sort of like briefly tell the audience about like your journey, obviously getting here, even through college. And then the thing I'm very curious about is just like, everyone has doubts, but did you ever have a moment where you were like, this isn't happening?
Yeah, my journey from college was freshman, coming into Rice, thinking that my freshman year I could change the program. Honestly speaking, I was thinking like that because we were already losing, and I was like, I'm gonna be the answer. Like it's not like we recruiting a number one recruit. Like they taking a chance on me. I'm just going and show that I work hard and take the program over in my freshman year. And that was obviously not the case.
This was my program that he's talking about. First of all, let me make sure we explain that.
Your program is crazy when I'm the one who graduated, but we ain't.
That was at the time. That was my program.
Don't interrupt me while I'm
that
talking.
Was my program.
Don't interrupt me while I'm talking, bro.
This is my show, bro.
Don't interrupt me while I'm talking.
This is my show.
I am the guest, though. So, like I said, then going into my sophomore year, it was COVID, and I was a little heartbroken when Trey Murphy entered the transfer portal. I remember being in my room with the door closed because we took a language class together, and he let me know that he was leaving, and it was a strike to the heart. But that summer, I just said, well, Trey leaving, Drew leaving, Josh Parrish leaving, it's no other choice. Like I have to work hard to prove that I'm the guy. And I just put in a lot of work that summer. And my sophomore year, I took a leap. Going into my junior year, I was very confident, thinking that would be my last year in college. And then I faced a lot of adversity, sprained my wrist right before the season, and then I broke the same wrist 4 months later or whatever, and just kind of taking a step back to reevaluate my ego and attack basketball from a different perspective, which was the coaching side, being sidelined and having an understanding of the game and the mental side. And then senior year, just being so anxious to get back on the court, took advantage of that, thinking that I would not go back to college after that. I graduated and I transferred to Xavier, wanting to play on a bigger level, show that everything I was doing at Rice was something that I can do at the next level. And I did that plus some to put myself in position to be here. But I would just say it's always been hard work and just belief that I can do things that people might not think I can do.
I just like that you walked onto Trey's team and you're like, this is about to be my team.
No, literally, bro. I was like, bro, you want to know what's crazy? And my dad can vouch. My mom can vouch. I came to one of them games. I was watching one of them games. I was like, I can take dude's spot. Obviously, he ended up being my best friend, which is crazy. But I was like, I can take this weak, cinnamon stick looking dude. I can take his spot, bro. Like, he not checking me. Obviously, that's what everybody gonna think. It was only because, like,
Yo, who's admin of this Zoom call? Can you put him on like a 5-minute timeout or something like that?
I would recommend anybody listening to this podcast who's not watching it watch this section just to see Trey's face. That's all I will say. Is sometimes video you don't need. I think you need video for this particular section.
nah, but it was cool though. I stayed in the gym with him. It was just more like a thing that I always do I just kind of challenge myself with people that I think want the same things as me and always just try to compete with themselves internally to continue to chase something else. So I knew Trey wanted to go to the NBA just off first interaction, and then after that, once I got there to campus after the visit and stuff, just always trying to be around them and just be like, okay, well, this dude want to make it to the NBA. Well, so do I. So if he think he can do it, then I might as well hang around and whatever he do, we gonna do. So if we make it, then we both did it right. If he make it and I don't, then I can be like, well, I did everything I could, and that was really the approach.
Has there been a part about being a Laker in particular that you've enjoyed the most?
Living out in LA. You know, it's a great appreciation being around greatness like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You know, a lot of knowledge around the facility and being with those guys. But you know, I'm not really too big into anything else. I like to play the video game, and I like to talk to my friends. So you know, being a Laker is fun being out in LA, but I still got to take care of business at the end of the day.
What has been probably the most important thing that happened for you when basketball wise, we could say that could be even present time or even from high school, middle school, because a lot of times like we have our defining moments that we never forget and it helps, fuel us to, do what we do now in that sort of capacity.
I would say breaking my wrist, being able to realize that I needed to take a step back from basketball and learn and grow as a man, not only a athlete, because the game is so much bigger than scoring, and being able to affect the game outside of just putting the ball in the hoop is something that a guy like me who is 6'2" can take, because when I get to the NBA, or when I was thinking when I get to the NBA, I'm not just going to be the main scorer. I'm going to have to be able to affect the game. So watching the game and knowing that you have to watch a lot of film, and it's a lot that goes into the process of being ready for a game and having an appreciation for that. And then most importantly, just having an appreciation for every time I'm able to step out on the floor to give it everything I got, because it could always be my last time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an important one. And I think probably like the other follow-up that I'll go with is, like me, I was in the transfer portal. How was that process for, viewers that don't know about the transfer portal? And, I was with you a little bit during that time, like just, explain all of it, like all the emotions and, different thought processes that you have, going through the transfer portal.
It was eye-opening, because I didn't know that many people knew who I was in college. Like, I remember when I got in there, I expected UGA to call just because that's home. But Bruce Pearl calling my phone, or Eric Musselman calling right before their game against UConn, just a lot of coaches that you see on TV or hear about on ESPN, they had my number like immediately. And I think that caught me off guard at first. And then going about that whole process of making sure that it's a Zoom meeting here, Zoom meeting in 2 hours, Zoom meeting tomorrow, and they want to set me up for a visit, just trying to organize all that and having it on a notepad, taking notes. It got overwhelming after a while. And it gets to a point where you just want to sit down and have quiet time away from everybody so you can make a decision. That's honestly what I did. I remember telling my mom just to kind of leave me alone for a couple of days and just let me be in silence, to go over my notes, my pros and cons list. And eventually, after praying over it and taking my time, I felt like I made the right decision.
Yeah, no, I probably had a pretty similar thought process with the transfer portal. Like, I knew when I entered, I was going to have like a good amount of coaches calling me, but like I'll tell you this too, like for people that don't know, when you first enter the portal, you get calls from schools where you're just like, nah, no way I'm at this level. Like I was. And I'm gonna just tell this story, and there's no disrespect to any schools that I'm talking about right now. Let me make sure I say that right now. But my dad, I remember we were in the living room, and it was like me, my mom, my trainer, and like my uncle or something like that. My dad walked in, and he just got off the phone. He was like, "Oh, Trey, guess what? UNC called." And I was like, "Oh, that's great." And he said, "G," and I was like, "Bro, like, like like that's like what we doing here? Like why? Like if y'all don't know as well, my dad is one of the biggest trolls. Like
I was gonna say, why did he set you up like that?
that's my dad. That is literally my dad. He's one of the biggest trolls ever. And like I just said, no disrespect to UNCG. Like I want to say Wes Miller was the coach at the time. He was phenomenal coach, and he also recruited a little bit.
Great program.
Exactly. And so, but I grew up a UNC fan my entire life. Like that would have been my dream school, but they didn't recruit me. So,
do y'all think if you were freshman right now, you would do anything specifically different?
What do you mean?
We probably would hang out more. Right, we probably would have been like roommates or something, but we were roommates on the road. But I don't really know if there was much else we could do. We played the game together.
I forgot we were roommates on the road too.
Hey, and then side note, I had to kick him to the curb because bro started snoring out of nowhere. Like it was just like a random road trip. He just started snoring, and I was like, bro, at this point, I was also like starting to play a little bit, so it mattered that I went to sleep. And I'm like, I gotta go. But we were roommates on the road. We used to go to study hall together. We would go to Potbelly together, get the pizza melt, pizza sandwich, no mushrooms. We go
we made some TikToks on the road as well. I forgot about that.
We did a lot of stuff together. It's just the only thing we really didn't do was be roommates on campus.
Yeah.
I actually have a question about that with like everything different with NIL and everything. Are they still gonna have to? You still gonna have to like room with people on the road? Because if that feels like you could be at a competitive disadvantage. Like just straight up with like shit like that. Like snoring will keep you up. Like if you got a big game the next day and you got Trey snoring like crazy, and you're playing whoever on national TV and you can't sleep because of that. Like you think coming into this, they would give people their own room.
Let me also say he's not innocent either. There's times he would fall asleep before me, and the way my method was I would throw the pillow against the wall. He would stop for a second, and I probably had about 10 minutes to go to sleep before he would start snoring again.
Truth be told, it got to a point like at my sophomore year and on where if I had a problem, Coach Perry would take care of me and I would have my own room. But I wasn't at that level my freshman year.
Are those improper benefits?
I was gonna say someone just
no
a snitching.
No, it is not. It's not improper benefit. I just needed sleep.
This is your first draft, Quincy. Trey thinks he's good at drafting.
Actually, he's not
good at drafting.
He's not good at drafting.
Everyone he is. He's like claims that he is.
He's not.
So our draft, we're gonna draft annoying roommate characteristics in general. Quincy, you're first. I'm second. Trey's third. Then we snake it. So you got 5.
Why am I third?
You get the first pick in the second.
Your show.
Stop complaining, bro. Golly.
AJ was always third. You're third. Like, stop complaining. You're the third pick.
Go ahead.
The first round.
Some things never change, bro.
Yeah. So quickly, just so you know, I think you know already, but just so you know, you pick something and then we can't pick it.
Yeah.
So, but any annoying roommate characteristics, period, you're up first.
Messy.
That's an okay pick.
Messy is good. That's very broad, but it's like
no, it's just like what am I supposed to say? Like clothes all over.
He made his pick.
Yeah, it's messy. All right.
It's general.
Soccer player. All right, my first pick. Guests who stay too long.
Okay. That's a bust. That's a bust.
Why is that a bust? That's the most annoying thing of all time. If you have a roommate,
you can't kick them out yourself.
Yeah, but it's awkward. Like you don't want if you're non-confrontational. You don't want it's not your friend.
He made his pick. It's my turn now.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna go with snoring.
Okay.
And then number 2, changing the thermostat and making the room hotter.
Ooh.
Thermostat's good.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't snore, but my issue with the snoring that you can't help. So I'm like, I feel bad a little bit.
You can, but that's why you gotta like hit them and then,
Like I told you.
Thermostat's crazy. That's a good pick.
All right, thermostat. I like that. The second one.
I got my second. Then
I ain't. Oh, I'll go last.
Yeah,
I got you.
Take it back.
Yeah.
All right, my second one is getting food on the couch and not cleaning it up.
That's bad.
I like that. I'm gonna go with my second pick. No headphones when on their phone, or like on the phone, like no headphones.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then my third pick, because I'm at the first pick of the next round. I'm gonna go. So did that. I'm gonna do eating out of my food without asking, touching my stuff without asking.
Yeah, fuck yeah, food especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to eat. So,
yo, what are we doing?
Did Trey do that? Did Trey ever do that?
Your turn, Tommy.
Yeah, see how he trying to chase this.
Your turn, Tommy.
All right, my third pick is killing the toilet paper and not refilling it.
Yeah, that's a good one. So for my third and fourth pick, I got leaving dishes in the sink.
Ooh.
And then
is that not messy? Is that
that's
not
the thing though? He can't do messy though. Like that's
that was my pick.
No, it's not. This is the problem with messy as a pick. Is messy can be like 9 different things.
Exactly. So it's a bad pick.
Though. Exactly. There were no rules.
Bad pick. Anyway.
All right.
That's so annoying.
Okay. Well, I asked for clarification after I made the pick, and y'all said move on. It's not my problem.
Can I make my last one or my fourth one, please?
Fourth one. Go.
Drinking a drink and leaving not even enough for you to get like even a sip out. That is in the refrigerator. That's one of the worst things ever.
I like that.
Wait, drink a drink of anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything. Like it could be like some milk, and it's like you go to get the milk, and you go to pour some cereal. You go to pour in some cereal, and there's literally no milk.
Yeah, it's whack.
Bad.
All right, I got my fourth one. This is very specific to like, I feel like college and like if you live with people in like a house or apartment or something, it doesn't work if you're like on a team. But when you got like crazy parents, overbearing parents who come in and just like fucking try to make it their place, I feel like could be very bad. So I feel like from a roommate situation, and like 80% of the time, if you have bad parents, you got to move out because they're just going to be so annoying and it's awkward. It's like you just got to avoid awkwardness at all costs, basically.
I like that.
2 more. Close it.
I like for my last 2 picks, like a roommate that's not good with communication, bad communication. So like, let's say you're having people over or just something that I should know about as your roommate and you don't relay that information. I think that is bad on the roommate. And for my last and final pick, I think this might be a sleeper pick, but leaving all the electronics on when you're like not turning the electronics off when you're like done. So like leaving the light on or leaving the TV on or whatever when you walk out.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that you're thinking about the environment.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm gonna comment. It's funny though because now it's just like I have my own crib. Like my parents will come over and they'll like leave a light on in the room and be like, turn that off. Then we go, yeah, turn it off. We ain't doing that.
He did this the other day. I was at his house and his mom was like, you did this your whole life growing up. You left shit on because you have to pay for it. And you get a house and within 2 weeks, you're bitching about the lights.
Yep.
You do what you want when it ain't your money.
Start paying the bills. All right, my last pick is when you don't pay rent on time.
Oh yeah, that is a bad one.
I haven't had that problem, but that does suck.
That sucks.
For the final and best pick, I'm gonna go with just a straight up yapper. Like if they just yap all the time, don't shut up, can't be my roommate. Because I can't. I just can't.
Can you take examples on this call, maybe?
Hey man,
I ain't pointing no fingers.
All I got to say is a hit dog will holler. So you know who spoke first.
It was him.
All right. A very successful draft. Thank you, Quincy, for joining us from your shipping container.
Oh my God.
We will see.
That's the next string.
We will see you with these check-ins down the road. Best of luck, and don't be a stranger.
Nah, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. This was the first time I actually told Trey to like get me on something that he's been on, pause, and he actually did it.
You can't say that, bro. You can't say that, Lex.